Good time zone, everyone. Welcome. Chat has spoken, and in a narrow vote, we are going to at least start on another premiere draft of Amonkhet Remastered. It has been remastering my win-loss record, unfortunately, towards the 50% direction. Results have not been fantastic. Don't know exactly why. Maybe I'm a little behind the curve, maybe getting a little unlucky, maybe making some misplays, maybe a little of all three. Usually when you're in a streak of not going well, it tends to be a combination of everything, right? A little perfect storm to reduce your results expectations a bit. We're not even doing, it's not like we're 0-3ing every draft or anything. I'm just failing to have any real success with one. We're just middling every single one of these. But you got to shoot out of your slumps or shoot out of your middling runs here and just keep trying for the 4, 5, 6+ wins here in the premier drafts and do what we can and have some fun together while we're at it and learn a little bit more about how to win this format along the way. I don't know about getting this format at cardkingdom.com. Amonkhet Remastered is purely arena only as far as I'm concerned, but if you, as far as I know, but if you see cards here that spark your interest in historic, in Pioneer, perhaps, you know that cardkingdom.com is going to have all those singles for you. They are my sponsor, and you can find them via my affiliate link in the panels down below and in the notes of my YouTube videos. And of course, if you've never visited Card Kingdom via my affiliate link, doing so gives a little nod on my behalf to them. And of course, if you're ever spending on physical Magic stuff, please keep my affiliate link in mind and Card Kingdom in mind. Give them a chance to earn your business. And if you do give them a chance to earn your business, do it from my affiliate link. And then it's win, 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 win. And then we just get to keep drafting here together forever, right? That's the plan. Let's see if we can execute and plan and execute on this draft as well. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Let's see what the cards bring for the planning part. Yeah, the Bolas, it's been all downhill since the Bolas deck. That's one of the early drafts in the format we did that 7-1-7, we got 7 wins with it, and it was really fun. And it was very controlling and very antithesis of the format, but we did have the control elements to survive the aggro. What do we, Spoil-A-Day? What's Spoil-A-Day number 1? I don't know what you're talking about, you crazy kids and your hashtags. All right, well, trying to get people to fire this here draft. Oh yeah, Cardboard Live. Looks open for me. Kind of need cards, and then we'll see. But here, I can restart it, just to be sure. Doesn't hurt. Commander Legends. Oh, that's a product I don't know much about. Is that drafting Commander? Well, you had me at drafting, but it's kind of like cats and dogs living. What is going on here? Like, shouldn't I find someone to throw in this dang seat, Watsy? Hey, Thor Dallas, we are trying to start our Amonkhet Remastered draft, but we keep getting, this is our third time attempting, I've clicked the ready, third time's the charm on the ready click, right? All right, we got a Magma Spray catching my eye, but what do we got here? Dread Wanderer is nice aggro. zombie jackal that comes back again and again. So a fine place to start from a rare slot from a format standpoint, but I'm not passing a magma spray. Pick one here. We've got Gust Walker and Entangler, Hope Tender, Splendid Agony, Sandworm, all jumping out. So there's some good Consigned to Oblivion is decent, but we're just going to start with best common in the format. Yeah, but that's this format for you. 3 people, right? Because aggro, aggro, aggro. But let's go. Deem worthy, excellent follow-up. And actually, you know, there are, to the extent that there is a way to be control red, like we were in that successful Bolas deck we had early on. Red removal is what gets you there. So actually, I like that Magma Spray and Deem Worthy set us up for both red-blue spells and red aggro. And red control. So we could, again, just take the Magma Spray. This cast out arguably better. Obviously, it gets more things, and it cycles for 1 if you're struggling for mana. But this matches our first 2 picks, is still excellent in multiples, and completely cuts red out of the pack. So I'm going to take Magma Spray, sending some, between the Gust Walker and the Cast Out, we're definitely sending some white signals to keep in mind because often I pair red with white here, but there's partly do that because white is so deep that it can support multiple drafters even close to each other, but we're certainly going to start with the triple red opener, and you can go quadruple red opener, quadruple red removal opener even, over the Harsh Mentor. And I'm going to do that. You can overload on removal and find yourself finally running out of removal steam, unable to get their last thing, and then just dying to that. But we're going to start with all this removal and try to find support for it. And then here, like, Avenger jumps out at me. We could just take a crash through, though, and try to land more in the Spellweaver, you know, the red-blue spells, because we take this crash through and we find ourselves like, boy, if there's a Goblin Wizardry in the next pack, yeah, we could also just take the Desert. We should just take the Desert, you're right. I kind of lost sight of that, but with what we started with, this is the clear pick. Fan Bearer suggests we could dip back towards this Baleful Omet still being here makes me think maybe we could try red-black even. Probably won't, but Thordalis, you never know. Humans are weird. Yeah, Scrapper is fine here too, though. Menace. But yeah, Thorn Moloch as the prowess creature. I kind of want to stick with red. Fanbearer is good. Baleful Omet is good. But I think with this start, we should just take a red card. I'm going to take Moloch because of the heavy spell component we've got. Normally, I like the Scrapper a little better if I'm taking one of those cards. But wow, Deadland still being here, and then the Omet in the last pack. The table's really suggesting black is a place to be. So I'm going to listen. Take the Deadlands and potentially get into black. I mean, we're not going to marry this. And you could also argue taking the Sentinels for similar Moloch reasons. But Deadlands is too generically powerful to not notice here, to still be in the pack. Inciter does some work in aggro, but I don't know if we're even aggro yet. Looks like with Deadlands, and you know, we could be again more of a Bolas control without the Bolas with where we're headed. We could take Doomed Dissenter as a reasonable place. Yeah, it is a late talk crop. I should probably listen to this as a possible signal. I've been feeling like we've passed so much white that we shouldn't go in that direction, but it is a very late talk crop. So I will go ahead and hedge there. Entangler being back out of our opening pack is pretty fantastic. It was one of the call outs I had of like, you know, this is one of the aggro cards that we could be sending somebody into with. Spellweaver Eternal. I haven't abandoned the idea of blue-red spells yet, but why not take an excellent red card when we 100% know we're red? The only question is, what else are we doing here? And to that end, again, I want to Moloch with all of these spells over a Ceradon and a Zealot. Don't love any of this. I suppose if we end up white, we might forsake the worldly as a cycling option that might pick off something important. Harsh Mentor coming all the way back and says a lot about, like, is red just wide open? Have we just locked onto the red? Like, are we mono red? I think we're mono red. Mono red incoming, although countervailing winds is excellent if we end up in the spells deck, you know? Well, gotta love it. Are we mono red, he says, and then, like, the literal only card that's red in the second pack is a Zealot of the God Pharaoh? Wow. I mean, we can take Vault, but, like, is that even good for us? I guess we'll take it, but we could take... Yeah, Cartouche is interesting. And we did see that the table seems to be interested in pushing us into black. Splendid Agony, also an option, but we have a ton of removal already, so... and that's what Cartouche is? Like, what we need is creatures. But, yeah, I'll take the black Cartouche here, given what the table has been saying, but what a bummer of a pack to open, honestly. Claim to Fame, if we end up black-red, get something back on the cheap, but it doesn't seem the pick here. I just kind of have it highlighted. Cartouche of Zeal. Demand some creatures that we don't have yet. Yeah, we're very more controlling than... I almost want a Labyrinth Guardian here. Like, Claim to Fame is okay, but it's not fantastic. And Desert, I don't want a white Desert because I guess we do have a Taw Crop, but I kind of like the Guardian as a hedge here, because we very much have the red cards towards a good red-blue spells deck, and I really didn't like much else of what I was seeing there. But now Trial in the no creature deck. I mean, we could take Trial and just try and get there. I mean, we're not no creatures, but we would just have to really focus on creatures from here with Harsh Mentor, a couple of Molochs. Gosh, fix the tech. Look at that. How do I know I have 2 Molochs, wizards? Trial is so strong that I feel compelled to hedge there. I don't know if I'm drafting the hard way or the train wreck way here, but and Gustwalker maybe is what we need to make the Trial good, but I'll take, like, I would rather have the Trial and any 2s we can find than, like, the Gustwalker and no Trial. So here, like, we can take an Archer. So hedging on Trial, still not sure about second color, but I'm going to keep taking playable red, although we're passing good stuff like Final Reward, Wander in Death. And it is. This would be fine, but I think we could also make an argument that we're going to wheel this. Look at the red we wheeled. We wheeled Harsh Mentor at, like, pick 14 or something. So, like, we're probably just wheeling the Archer, but then we're probably wheeling a Scrapper too, and I would take that. So I am going to just, given that what we need is, I think, 2 drops, I'm going to just take that. And then we see, here's one of those monuments that just doesn't do enough. And then Initiate here over the Inciter or the Dissenter or the Bat. Again, still, heck, maybe we're still mono. Maybe we just end up mono red, and that would be good. Cartouche here helps with that potentiality, which I like over the Agony. We just need to keep looking for 2s. Here's a 2. We'll take it. All right, wheels are coming. Wheels are coming. Did we get there? I'm going to take Entangler. A catcher's name is okay, but we do have the trial if we end up with a little bit of white here. I'm happy to take these good red 2s that keep coming. Okay, so pick... here's our wheel. Unfortunately, didn't wheel quite what we wanted. I guess we take a Doomfall. Or this Vizier... yeah, no cartouche is a bit of a bummer, but we'll see. Yeah, with light zombies, I couldn't quite get there on Claim to Fame. This is one of the reasons or sorry, on that other on not Claim to Fame. I saw that word and said it, but on the other one, Ceradon. Yeah, maybe we need Ceradon. I don't think we are really doing the black much at this point. Here's the scrapper that wheeled like we hoped. I really do think we're closing in on mono red. Wander and Death, though, I suppose could be part of a splash. Move that out, though. Bladed Bat. I mean, I guess if we're mono red, is this playable? I'm going to take it in case it's playable. If we're mono red, I don't even know if it's playable there, but part of the reason these monuments fall so far short is that they only reduce, quote, half your deck, right? If you're 2 color, so something to keep in mind there. Imminent Doom. Remember this being not easy. You have to have the ones here. So this is a build around that if you had enough ones to make work, your deck's probably bad anyway. We take Watchers as just generic 2s. But we could also just take a Bloodlust Inciter. I think I'll take the Inciter. It's good enough. Lay Claim is interesting. If it wheels, we'll consider it, but I don't feel the need to prioritize it there. Sarcophagus is the cycling build around. It's a lot of fun if you end up in that direction. A little disappointed by these packs here. We've cut red pretty nicely, but are not getting rewarded with the contents. I don't know if I'm not adding green to this just for a 3/3 trample that makes other things have trample. Yeah, I'd rather have Tormenting Voice or really just Brute Strength. But Tormenting Voice, nice in a monocolor, like pitch some lands, reload. Yeah, we can Gust Walker. Maybe we just do have enough white. That's fair. Let's take the Walker and see. Nothing in red here is worth taking over the chance that we still do some white in this deck. Taking Evolving Wilds to help with that, potentially. Or the Dauntless Aven. There's a Pathmaker that, based on earlier stuff, I expect this to wheel. And I actually think I like an Evolving Wilds over a Dauntless Aven if we're going to try to play a little bit of white. Be heavy red with just a touch of white. It's true, it is good with Exert, and we do have some Exertion. I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds, though. If we're adding white, I think we're going to really want the Evolving Wilds sewn up over the thing we might play. And I'll take another Desert here. Yeah, I don't know what struggle we saw there, but I didn't see struggle. If we're playing white, are we playing a Binding Mummy? No, there's another Deadlands. Nothing here for us, though, at all. So I guess I take a Binding Mummy in case, but I don't see how we're playing that. Yeah, we could take another Deadlands, but we're never doing it, ever. Camel, maybe a Camel is more likely to see play for us than the Mummy. I don't think we're playing either one, so yeah, I'll take the Camel. Archer here over a white cartouche. For a red cartouche, I would take it, but we just want more 2s. You want the white touche? Really? Your hat is like exclamation point white touche. So is Tron. Yeah, I suppose we do have the trial, but I like the archer, but I'll try that touche there. Chandra's defeat, not best of 3. Don't need that. This is where we can take a Ceradon. Let's check our curve. We might just want a mummy for the 2s. This is not playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have 8 2s, so I think we take the 5. We already had one, I suppose. Maybe we play a 3rd Moloch. I think we would play that over the camel? Question mark? I don't know. Might as well stick to the main color at least. Charioteer comes back anyway. Still not running it. Another claim to fame, trying to make our deck and failing. I think we're not playing that monument. Maybe we play the brute strength though. Nobody green-white, I guess. Fiddles, it's because they want those cards in for constructed. The part of the point of this product is to introduce constructed cards, and those sideboard cards are actually good or playable constructed sideboard cards, I should say. I'm not going to tell you what's good and constructed, but I know they're playable. Well, actually not a lot of cuts to be made here. Don't worry about the lands. We'll take care of that later. Let's figure out what our actual deck looks like. 16. I think I cut one of these Ceradons. Probably cut a Vizier. And then I think we go 17 with the struggle and the Ceradon and 2 deserts. So that makes me want to find one more cut. Perhaps just the crash through, since we're not, I mean, we have some prowess. Brute strength. There's a lot of blocking that goes on in this format. I guess we could cut the brute strength and just have a certain cycle. Gustwalker, good enough to play, even though obviously we're not going to get it out on turn 2 as maybe much as we'd like. But if this is part of a turn 5 2-spell play, we'd be happy with that. Yeah, we can just cut the other Ceradon too. I don't mind that. Puts us a little lower on creatures than I want, but it's not an effective creature really at that spot in the curve anyway. We could bring in back a camel. I'm not cutting the Mentor. You could argue that we could bring in the Vizier, but not over the Mentor. That, like, this is a grizzly bear that actually does surprising, like, when this works, when Oppo realizes that, oh geez, I have a fan bearer, and actually tapping that 4-power flyer with my fan bearer is only saving 2 of the damage. Like, it's not bad. So it's upside bear that I'm not cutting. And what are you talking about, Fiddles? Unbalancing my mana? Yeah, we could cut Forsake just as a cycling response card. That's fair too. You could definitely cut that. I mean, unless you're saying, I don't... Yeah, we could add a Ceradon back and cut either Crash Through or Brute Strength. Here, let me get to deck building. Sorry, move out of your way. Don't worry about lands yet. Don't worry about the exact construction of these lands. We can worry about quantity, and I want to do especially bringing back a Ceradon. I want to do 17 lands with 2 deserts. So first I want to get my spells, and then that informs what our lands are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is 17. So here's our 40 that I want. And now we'll mess with lands. Did anybody bling, by the way? No bling requests. So I guess this is me. This is not great, but I do agree that a little bit of top end doesn't suck. I mean, what do you want to put in over it? You want to bring in the Vizier, the Forsake the Worldly for some cycling pinpoint removal. So anytime you like, if you are doubting a card, you got to let me know what you would bring in instead. And yeah, this cycles, so it can be either we win with it or we can replace it. But the can't block, like, Ceradon really does produce some reach as well. They have similar jobs, like help take a stalled board and turn it into a place where we can win. But I'll keep it in mind. I'm going to start with a Ceradon, and we can keep in mind what we might consider using in that spot instead. So if you're not a Ceradon fan, ask yourself what you'd play instead, and we can do the game of Would We Rather. Just not as reliably. But I think you're right. That's why we're playing 17. We can go 10-7, especially with the double desert and the evolving wilds as one of our 7. So we like 6 plains and an evolving wilds is, I think, nice. I think it's about where we want to be. So maybe we are agreeing vehemently. In violent agreement, as they say. I'm going to suggest, it's going to suggest forests, and we'll get rid of them. Avon redeemed. So I like 6 plains, and then... yeah, it looks good. 11, that gives us 11-7, which is quite strong. 11-7 with the cycling lands in the kind of the right place. And we're going to call this what? We've got double Pathmaker. We've got entanglements. Entangled Path. Tangled Path. Actually, let me do it with this. All right, let's dive in. I will fire up a Parpole after I get... well, actually, I'll fire up a Parpole and then... update the info here. If you've been watching, you should probably par me at 1 or maybe 2. I think par 2 is what you can expect from me in this format. Hey, Gilded Beast. I'm not sure what you mean. What are we playing? What's the Parpole? What is life? What is magic?
Carry on my wayward son.
We're going to keep this, play 1 desert tapped, then play mountain and entangler, and then see if we need to play this tapped. Hopefully we end up in a spot where we can cycle this desert, but we will see. I like that you missed what the poll was, but you voted. That's very American. No, actually, very American just to not vote. Untapped land? No good. We don't get an untapped land, but I am happy to get a play. We could also go crash through Magma Spray Walker, and then maybe we do find a land that allows us to save the desert for cycling. But I also do like the idea of just getting Entangler down. So, yeah, we could also just not exert. Let's do that. Let's start with a non-exert attack. And if they do block, we can consider Magma Spraying, because we have the trample. So, like, if they block, we just Magma Spray and we get the same effect. Oops, no, I don't play those games. That means turning on chat and stuff. So now we go Entangler, play Desert tapped. Too bad. You hate to have both of your deserts be played tapped. I mean, part of their strength is that they turn into spells if you draw them late. So we got the negative side of deserts here instead of the positive side. Like, we paid 1 mana to play our lands instead of getting a card off them late. But, you know, it goes. So now Oppo offering the trade also, which is interesting. But with the Magma Spray and all of our removal, I'm not interested. Now we get to go fetch our planes to set up the Solidarity Trial. And here, though, we're going to go just drop a Moloch. Maybe I go... Actually, I'm going to crash through... I'm just trying to figure out if we need to kill the Aerial Guide. Do you want to trade? I'm not sure if we want to trade an Entangler for an Aerial Guide, though. Or we do have the same... We make the same offer, though, right? If they block, I'll grudgingly spray the guide. All right, we'll try. I'm gonna try to get them to just accept the race with no exert, and if they do block, though, I think I have to Magma Spray, and then what we do is crash through. Okay, good. We don't have to. Well, you never know, War Furnace. It's I'm willing to say they probably won't, but it's hard to know the mind of your opponent. But now, next turn looks bonkers. If we get a land, we can cast everything. They're still on race plan. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, that's a little nerve-wracking to see them be all this open mana. So now I want to go Archer and then try Magma Spray Crash through, and actually let's do that. We'll save the trial until it's a little more shields down. This isn't the one with the force spike, right? I guess, because if it's a force spike situation, I want to start with the spray. Oh, yeah, sorry, I just forgot. You get that for free. I'll give it back.
Archer.
Archer? Archer. Archer! Archer!
What? God!
Sensor, right. So, I'm going to Magma Spray the Walker to play around Sensor. Because I also want to play the Crash Through. It makes the Moloch bigger, and I want to play the Crash Through, but I was playing around Sensor, so I had to. It was more important to resolve the Magma Spray than the Crash Through, so I played around Sensor by leading with the Magma Spray. Oh, shoot. Did I miss kill? Sorry. 6... 10, 19. Yeah, it wouldn't have been kill. I'm still just generally on don't exert if the damage is free. And also, again, I saved on trial because of exactly this worry that they had stuff to do. Trial exert now should get us there, right? Archer pings for 1. They go to 10. Then Solidarity creates 10 trample. So it's darn close. I don't know, Haj. I said what I did and why. I was playing around censor and I would not take it back. All right, starting with a win is nice. Sounds like there's some debate about the exact sequencing I chose for the end game there, but I'd have to take some time to assess the alternative suggestions. But again, I was assuming that I wanted to resolve that magma spray and take out the Gust Walker, and I was playing around censor. And yeah, I don't know. And I still cast the crash through. That's what I don't understand. It was just a sequencing thing. Tangled path indeed. Let's see if we can get some more. Surprised we're not pairing a little faster. Maybe this queue is slowing down a little bit. I don't know. Feels like for what we've normally experienced, we're not pairing quite as quickly, although maybe we've gone up in rank, so possibly we're just harder to pair on the rank front. All right, solid start. We also drew a card, though, Haj, right? I mean, it's not like it was just choosing which turn to have our stuff all get trample. We also drew a card. Let's go. Open on some red. How are we going to start this? I guess it depends on what Oppo follows with here. They're going with Slitherblade aggro. We'll play a Plains so we have all of our options at least. And are we doing any kind of blocking? Can't block this or won't block this. So there's no blocking happening. Assuming we're in a race situation, what do we want to have cracking back? Let's go with the trample dude. Also, if they have removal, Gust Walker is easier to get in later, although they're blue-white, so probably we'll have some flyers. Another Gust Walker deck. Cartouche is nice, so we get to play that on our own. Gust Walker and attack without having to exert. Or we could exert. We could even play it on the Archer instead. To give this a little more oomph, although then it becomes a trouble with making a 3-2. Like, we could do it. It just becomes a 3-2, which is so imminently more blockable on this board with these creatures than a 3-3 is. I'm more inclined to make a 3-3. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's why. Not that we're blocking, but if they end up needing to block, I don't know. I think having the Walker be a 3-3 is better. And plus makes for a heck of a flyer if we do exert, attacking as a 4/4. Uh-oh. That's not good for us. I don't know. Here we go. Dueling aggro is why I'm not particularly enamored with this format. This is just kind of what's been going on. Now we are looking at basically 4 unblockable next turn. So we have to set up to basically try and win off of a trial of our own. We'll play this, and I guess we can exert the Entangler, because they don't want to block with Walker or Blade, because they're going to get us down to 1 with them. But we do need to keep attacking to have any chance. So we'll do that. Yeah, being on the draw has never been worse. Like, a lot of this is coming down to us being a step behind. And the trial, though. Let's be, you know, the trial is no joke. That's why we drafted it. That's why we're playing white. We're basically playing white because we have a trial. Struggle. Okay, so Struggle says we're not dead.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We can, let's see, do we make them attack first? I'm gonna hold in case it's an instant, so we will pass, and maybe they'll commit incorrect resources to attacking by waiting. Not on purpose, Hat. Not on purpose. Talking about making formats without aggro. It's always a goal. Nice strategic planning. Getting rid of a couple lands off the top there. Removal. Well, not quite removal, but a chance at removal. We need to get rid of that Gust Walker now, or we're just dead to the Gust Walker. Spray! More cycle. Spray! 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 Ah, too bad. We tried, team. Any chance of anything? Nope. Just dead if they figure out exert, but we'll make them figure it out. Why not? Put stops there for Fakey. I was trying to get him to make some kind of mistake, Tron. I know that we gave him a draw to find a response to our struggle, but I thought maybe, what if they found a cartouche? And we're like, I'm going to use the cartouche and just close out the game now and bounce back, and then we get to blow him out, right? So I took a chance on the narrow possibility of a blowout potential over the narrow possibility that they find something that actually thwarts the play. Figuring we kind of need to play towards blowouts. Ha! There you go. So, happened to turn late, but check it out. I mean, come on, right? If this is a turn late, we get to blow them out so hard, right? Anyway, instead, they win, but I'm glad at least Oppo proved my point. Did I have a cycle? What do you mean cycle for spray? What would I be cycling? If I missed that I had a cycler, then that was just a punt, but I don't think I did. Yeah, wrong red doofus. Well, maybe we'll get the play, curve out, and win. That's kind of what we're hoping for. I don't know why that makes me like a little anti this format when it's kind of like what we did yesterday in M21 that felt so great. Maybe it's just like it doesn't feel good to have it happen to you. Funny, got 2 of our planes, but we can keep this at least. No 2s, but the strength of the spray and the depth of our 2s and the fact that we are on the draw, we do have a couple of shots at 2-drop creatures, and we do have 2 Molochs and a Taw Crop with any land, so I'm keeping. There we go. That is definitely something to spray. I suppose they could drop an island and have sensor or whatever, so I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to kill that. Now, if the deck would like to give us a 2-drop, that would be fantastic. Creature 2-drop deck, please? Pretty please? All right, it listened. Thank you, deck. Initiate with Moloch is interesting with all of our prowess triggers as well, because we can give it unblockable as a 2/2, and then trigger prowess to make it bigger, and it keeps its unblockability. So, not exactly a Mondo combo, but definitely worth remembering. We can get a Taw Crop down, and then if we find a land in the next couple turns, we have a 2-spell turn 5 in Moloch number 2 and Brute Strength available. The race is on. All right, instead we get an Entangler, and we can start with an attack and consider the Brute Strength, although Bat beats Initiate even with a Brute Strength, so we have to decide if we're happy with that trade or not. I think we are. So if Bat blocks Initiate, we just let that happen and then follow with a Taw Crop. So I think we're probably just attacking and playing Taw Crop, but I'm going to offer the Initiate here. Unlikely in this race situation that we'll have that offer accepted. I do like drawing the Entangler. Now we get Taw Crop, and if we do find our 5th land, if we find a basic land off the top, we get Moloch Neft Crop, which is better than the maybe of a Brute Strength, right? Race is on. My goodness, the race is on. So we found a cycle land instead. What do we want to do with that? I like... If the race is on, are we winning it? We can Taw Crop Exert to get a 3/2 that would trade with the Archer. Moloch's getting chumped by the Dissenter. But maybe what we want to do then is actually Brute Strength the Moloch. I think to get there, we're going to need to Brute Strength the Moloch, play the Tangler, and play the Entangler this turn, and look to get there next turn. Hey, thanks for the raid, Blade Fury. Appreciate that. So at 12, we have some risk of being cracked back against, but I don't know. This is the format. Yeah, we could also Brute Strength the Initiate. But anyway, I'm going to Exert here, and then attack with these 2 and see what Oppo wants to do and try to win this race the best we can. mean, heck, if they could not block, we could probably just win. So now if we go brute strength, we get 5 trample, 9, 10, 11, 12. That almost kills them. So let's do that. And then probably just need to chump with our other entanglers so it doesn't die. But this is a lot of damage. Can we survive is the question. And do we play the desert is the other question. There are worlds in which we need to cycle the desert to find a magma spray to win with, to get past blockers. And so I'm actually not going to play the desert. Although we could also draw the Ceradon and it could be our win condition. So maybe I should play the desert. I feel like, therefore, the poison must be in front of you. Interesting. I guess I'll play it. Because the Ceradon does become like something we can cast if we draw. If we didn't have a 5-drop, though, I think we just hold that in case of the need to cycle. It also means Moloch plus a 2-drop if we need to, which also could be the difference between surviving and not. They pitched 2 here. The Burning Minotaur is worth 6. Everything else combined is worth 6, so we could just crop like the archer. If they've got a trample, brute strength of their own, we're just dead. We can't really beat brute strength, so I'm not going to play around it. And so we can't really beat removal or tricks. So I'm going to play like they don't have it and just make the correct trade block here and not worry about the Burning Fist. So that means archer. Either they have tricks that beat us, or I think we have this. I mean, I think that's what it... Yeah, so there it was. Tricks beat us, or else we win. What a format. Hey, we won on the draw. That feels like breaking serve right there. That's true. Cycling could have produced the needed oomph, I suppose. Maybe I was supposed to just play around that then. Maybe blocking Minotaur was correct because it's just simply the most damage. Yeah, maybe you're right. Happy to get the win though. We'll take it and try for another. All right, I've already made it to 2, so we're doing better than we've hit our normal. Let's see when we get a couple more wins. Going first is just so rewarding in a format like this. I wonder what the data shows on how much going first is affecting things here in Amonkhet. Now we do have a desert to cycle, so you can think of this as a 4-lander and a draw spell. But are the Harsh Mentor and the Pathmaker good enough to start on? I mean, there are 2 opening plays here, so that's not nothing. Got a lot of white, though. We don't need that much white. I'm inclined to narrowly mulligan this as being just too underwhelming and too uncertain in terms of what this desert will even reveal. I'm going to mulligan. Don't know if anybody there is keeping, but I'm down for the mull there, and I like this better. Got to get rid of something. Now is the problem. Probably going to be greedy and get rid of this desert, find a mountain, and try to... we'll Evolving Wilds shuffle the desert back in even, and try to find our lands, get a little lucky on lands. But I think this is correct here. Yeah, Fun Police are not making this an easy format for folks to feel great about their long-term strategy. There's a lot of, it kind of feels trappy, right? You feel a little bit trapped going for the end game stuff. Hey, what was I calling out? I called it. Fan bearer, harsh mentor. Awesome, I love it. I think though they're probably unlikely to use this turn. We're gonna exert. Could go Pathmaker so that we could. Although we can do, yeah, I'm gonna go mentor now after exerting. All right, found our land. That's nice. And I think we just go Moloch here. We can do Trial next turn for some good value, especially if Kudu comes our way. We'll see if Big Bird here wants to defend or attack. Uh-oh. Planeswalker, what do we got to deal with? Double strike. 2 damage. All right, so now we gotta take out Samut, or that's gonna be a problem. Trial helps us do that. We go Trial and then Exert, and then Thorn will be big enough too. Everything big enough. I guess we don't even need to exert. It's still a trade with the Kudu, so it's kind of, and they both are lethal. So don't even need to do that. This has, yeah, right. So they lose both creatures or Samut. That's fine. Oh, sorry, free exert. But they're all going to Samut anyway. And it's still, and it would have been a trade anyway, too. It's plus, oh, it's 2 toughness. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, that was a mistake then. Punt away. That was a punt. I forgot about the vigilance. Bad time to punt, too, when you're facing ranked mythics. Drop a Taw Crop of our own, though. There he is. Somebody had to punt me in order for D to wake up. Yeah, I don't hate the board reset, but obviously it was a punt. We'd be in a much better spot if I'd played that correctly. We're going to go at least 2 spell here, and maybe we have a chance to still win the race, especially if we find a cartouche of our own. Gotta play through, though. Let the punts go behind you and reassess your board state and see what you can do to win the game. As it is going to be tough with the champ. Oppo playing a lot of power cards here. And we whiff at the worst time. That's just not going to get it done. Taw Crop is going to be able to say, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like, we're not straight up dead if they swing out with this team exerted. But then let's say we go to 1. What's our plan to win on? Can we win on the crackback somehow? If we can exert for, because we could make the Moloch unblockable, exert and get in for 6 and drop them to 9. And then from 9, we would need to find... This would be exerted, so we wouldn't be able to use the Taw Crop anymore, but these two would be available. And if we did find a trial... So that is a line. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but this week, I mean, I think I did find a line. So we get in for 6 now. We get cracked back down to 1. But then if we find a cartouche, we can cartouche, bounce back the trial, replay the trial, and potentially have enough to actually do the follow-up 9. So that's what I'm going to do here. Our chances are on the slim side, but classically...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
Now we get to see if I did my math right, which is also no guarantee. I had us at 1 on this attack. Let's see if I was right. Can Ryan add short columns of small numbers? Yes! All right, give me the cartouche. Yeah! Come on! Come on! Is it enough? I don't even know. I don't even know, but this was the plan. Maybe it's not enough, because this is tapped, unfortunately, right? Wait, I gotta think about this. Sadly, I don't think it's enough, because of the trial... So I thought one part of my plan didn't come together, and that was the fact that the initiate... maybe I need to play... What about the cartouche on the initiate? Well, because I'm trying to figure out if I need to attack. I guess the only thing we can do is hope that the Moloch is enough, but it's just not, is the problem. Yeah, exactly, because the pump will make it not work. I'm gonna do this here. Yeah, it unfortunately just doesn't quite get there. There's all sorts of reasons that my sweet plan was actually not a plan. I got excited for a minute because but the magic gods were just playing a joke on me, as they always do, right? It's like, oh, you want that thing to happen that doesn't actually work? Sure, you can have that. Anyway, good game, Oppo. We're dead. But I was at least trying. You heard me try to find a line, try to come up with a way that you can imagine, a sequence you can come up with that would win the game. Turns out my sequence was not actually game winning, but I at least put in the effort to figure out how to try and win that game. It was never going to be enough, but I got myself all excited. Sorry if I got you excited too, and then it wasn't actually what we wanted. Here we are, 2 and 2 again, looking for a usual 2 and 3. No, we're looking for a 5+ wins. I just can't win more than twice in this format. That's what we've established. I don't think it mattered, D. I think the forces there were too overwhelming. I certainly wish I didn't make that punt, but I don't think it mattered. We're gonna keep here. A little bit heavy on lands for our purposes, but we get to thin it a little bit with the evolving wilds, so let's try. Are we going for 3rd mountain or 2nd plains? I suppose we take 2nd plains just in case, but there's probably more of a chance that we need to use 3 mountains in a turn than like if we drew Crash Through and then wanted to cast Crash Through, found Bloodlust Inciter or Magma Spray, Anyway, so yeah, I think I actually talked myself into fetching a mountain. I think there's just more realities where we want to 3 spell on red rather than 2 spell on white. Got our second white anyway. Bolt the bird. We could do that with the struggle. Can we do it with the deem? Can't do it yet with the deem. I think we give him a chance and we hold up struggle. And then next turn, we have a cycle to deem worthy that we would use on the Vitalist. If they don't play something else with 2 toughness, we'll cycle this to take out the Vitalist next turn. And if they manage to ramp to something, hopefully it's a creature that dies to 3 power of damage. If they pay a 3 toughness creature, I'm absolutely going to pick it off with struggle. I think that's good enough to be worth struggling. Interesting they did not bother to attack. Is there a... and we are up against another... reasonably good opponent here. I'd like to think I could G-wise. It's not that hard. I think I have the win percentage to make Mythic. I just don't play on one account and often enough. But maybe that's just me convincing myself of something I'd like to believe. I don't understand the no attack, but I'm gonna struggle, and then we get to cycle the Dean Worthy anyway. Cartouche is the one place where we would potentially want a 2 spell on white, but we don't need either one here. We're just going to cycle the Deem. The trouble is it would require me to commit to it offline as well, and I just don't have the time in my life to chase Mythic on Arena. I just don't. I play with you all, and then I turn Magic off largely. I'm going to follow my usual notion of don't exert if the attack is clear. Oh, sorry, Hat. I'll give you your money back.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Funny, we could, like... You play the Bloodlust Insider, cartouche it, and then cartouche the Gustwalker and get in, you know, like there's... Or we could even cartouche the Insider. What if we go Bloodlust Insider, cartouche, cartouche? Is that crazy? It's putting a lot of eggs in basket, but they haven't shown the removal for it. I kind of just like cartouche on the Gustwalker here, and then it can attack. What do we do this? We could also, yeah, we could save this cartouche for possible trial. We could also just put this on here. I actually like that. Let's do this. I'm going hog wild. Maybe this is too aggro, but isn't that what this format is? Insider letting us haste whatever creatures we draw from here. We can be sad about the lands we draw from here. But with exerting, we can now at least send the Walker for 4 in the air every turn. But this getting outclassed right away would have been the reason not to play it. If we find our one of our Pathmaker Initiates, we can give it haste and make this thing unblockable. So there's that. It also holds off the Initiate's Companion at least. we've kind of asked a Gust Walker question. They have a couple of turns to answer. And that is not one of them, because the Gust Walker with First Strike actually attacks through, and Bitter Bow becomes a chump at current levels. Entangler, well, we can play it, but it can't exert for anything, so we're just going to play it and pass. Haven't seen the new Planeswalker Hajj, but sounds like what design space did they head into that you like? Is there some line of rules text from it you could share? Well, how to wreck your plan. So, thought we were actually going to get to 3 wins today, and now I feel like we're not. It's that simple. I mean, it could switch. We could top deck our own useful thing here, but that just made this a lot harder. Now we kind of do need a Pathmaker Initiate, something to get us unblockable. Come on, deck. Can we get a 3rd win, please, in this format? I'm so sick of it. This might be my last freaking Amonkhet Remastered if I 2-3 again with just another back and forth aggro day. So we're getting pieces, but we're not there yet. I don't promise, but I tell you, this is frustrating. Having my skill advantage eliminated by the ranking system to engage in coin flippy aggro back and forth. Although Oppo just be in full-on control here, and this is absurd. We're now, let's see, what would you take if you were Oppo? I think it doesn't really matter. They're all the Insider, maybe. Maybe the Moloch. I think Insider presents the most potential, but it's the top of the deck potential. It's less realized than that thing right there sitting on the battlefield. It's possible a trial still gets us out of this. If they brick and only play a couple of... if they play no more creatures and we go creature into trial, I could see us winning. Clock is short, though. We need them to have nothing, and we need us to get lucky. All right, there's the creature side of it. Here's me planning again. I don't know if the magic gods are already laughing, but with 5 creatures at +2, we can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are, yeah. So if this is a land, and this is a land, and this is the white trial, we win? Question mark. Let's see. That's my math again. How about this time, Magic Gods, you actually let me one of my long shot, we can still win this plans come to fruition. How about that? Maybe one time? Not my one-time day, I guess. So we did have an out. I feel, again, I'm trying to find the silver linings in my rough experiences with this format, but I'm gonna pat myself on the back and say, hey, look, you keep looking for winning lines, you keep trying to find what your outs are and at least playing to them, Ryan. That's all you can do. All you can do. Fade the punts the best you can and make plans the best you can. Now, let's see. What could it like? Somehow we could crash through into trial. Is that a possibility? Because now we have to chump, though, is the big problem here. I'm wondering if we need to chump with the Inciter as the weakest creature. And now they're forcing us into double chump. And yeah, with the double attack, I think we are down to internet outage style outs. Trample. We just need to absorb enough trample not to die. Currently, we are going to die, so I need to. We're just so dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we need to six. Like we. This is so bad. Yeah. That's the block that doesn't lead to trample death. Here we are again, deciding what to do after a 2-3 in Amonkhet. Seven mana your face? Sure. All right. I don't know, folks. Pretty major punts involved in this 2-3, but I still don't think if you correct my punts that we end up anything other than 2-3. So I would like to have played a little better in those spots where I messed up. But really, I would like a format that doesn't just do that every time. Hats pushing for Monster Train. I have my project to gold all of my frames. I'm down to one card in each clan that doesn't have a gold frame, and plus some colorless ones. But those are whatever. I just don't want to be tempted incorrectly by those cards. Still, I'm talking about Monster Train. I should be saying goodbye to YouTube friends who somehow are sticking with me despite another 2-3 in this frustrating format. Blah. I'm going to claim the prize, a sad 250 and a couple of boosters, and say goodbye to YouTube.